collective energy reading. Please only take what resonates. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. You could be seeing someone could have ghosted you. You could have ghosted somebody. Sending messages, sudden disappearance, and that's without any explanation. You got left hanging and seen, but ignored. Erupted silence. You could be silencing somebody. They could be seeing you, ignoring you. Take this all as it resonates. That's that creation. It's that channel of your energy, and that's like creative expression, or even a passion, projection, strengthening your manifestation abilities. That's when you got that clarity of higher mind, consciously awoke. Take this as well as it resonates. You're empowered, empowering others of that awakening. That's looking at those values when you was having that indecisions and you're not making that rightful balanced choice, and you're not getting that higher clarity or gaining introspection about things that was doing in the underworld, or the obsessions because of illusions, and your values and your approach towards life. I am, and what I'm balancing, and what I'm feeling and thinking, and my inner standing. Take it all as it resonates. I was going to say, where's that coming from then? And it's your inner values that's looking at that greater part. You have that realization, even perhaps even looking at those questioning yourself, the thoughts, the partnerships, the relationships, the choices that you make, your values. That's what you're possessing. Take it all as it resonates. You could be doing these things by the book, so you're looking at that physical, that mental, listen to the spiritual guys, having that high awakening, connecting to the ancestors, your inner standing about the all that's interconnecting all the groups and those who you relate to, and you're looking at the common interests, even looking at a social board. Certain people have got a social awareness of you, the way you're creating. You could have ghosted people. People are looking and validating. They could have been lying and speaking the way how you ghosted. They could have said you was flighting detached. They could have been flighting detached from their emotions. They weren't balanced. They was running out of those low dense energies. They didn't see and use their intuitions. Now they're acknowledging you, your hidden skills, your hidden powers. Take it all as it resonates. You're evolving. They can see your original skills. You're doing it by that book. You connected to the divine. You got that balance to that left and that right side of the brain. That's you moving and gaining justice. Somebody could be looking and seeing that legal justice towards you, and that when they're indecisive, they may want to be able to come and bring justice. They may have to go to court in regards to these relationships. Take it all as it resonates. They could have been feeling threatened. They could have been threatening you, doing these power plays, controlling. You're seeing about those family members and those friends that was blocking, stopping, so you wasn't able to be able to move forward. You're going to understand about those peers and those colleagues, those people that you associate within those quarters, so they could be in certain quarters. Take it all as it resonates, because you're moving, eccentric. You're like this pioneer buster, busting those wolf in sheep's clothing, talking about those family members and those friends that think that they're being smart because it was indecisive, because they didn't have that higher clarity of their mind. You had grace, they was indecisive. Take it all as it resonates, putting you in hangman positions, making you not move towards that joy. So you was unbalanced about choices, because you're stuck in the low dense energy because of habits, fears, or because of your mindset from what you grew up with. This is this masculine emperor. They're having this disruption. Take it all as it resonates, guys, because that's the part of the world. That's the disruption. Their mindset, their values, connecting to their intuitions, looking at the unbalanced self or the mindset to the relationships and who they was loving and what they was possessing, and who I am and I possess, and the way how you possess, and you're creating and speaking. They could be seeing how you're creating and speaking. You're touching the four corners of the world. For people to have compassion, speaking and intellect, getting divinely guided, connecting to oneself, having that intuition, looking back to your ancestors, knowing that when you're moving, and what moving are you inspiring people to be creative, doing it with a pleasure, balance of mind, because they can see you're sensual, a high priestess who's got these hidden skills. They be looking back towards you. Queen of Cups, caring, nurturing, providing. They may even be looking up information on you. This Queen of Cups. Take it all as it resonates, the way you're speaking, communicating, social media. Getting higher clarity. So this could be a masculine. They could have that end of that cycle. You're moving forward. They may be looking back towards you because that's was your accomplishments. Now they can see you're that wholeness. They can see you're part of that joy, that happiness. You are happy. You're moving. You're grounded. You're stable. They maybe see that you're continuously growing and expanding with that hidden skills and power. They're having that higher awakening. They wasn't detached from emotions, thoughts and feelings because they was insecure. You're steadfast, you're organized, you're balanced, you're maintaining, you're grounded. You got that structure, like strength within inside of you, because that's that life force. That's when you're enabled to be able to look and gain things from different perspectives, higher awareness, higher clarity, that when people was in their ego, to drop their ego, have manners and have respect, it's dignity, that's making sure that you've got respect for other people. It's a moral compass. Take it all as it resonates. You're enabling people to be able to transform, to have that moral compass, higher clarity, to do good. Four of Swords, that's when you're connecting to your heart. When people are blocking you, you could be seeing that as the end of the world. You have to change, transform, go forward. You're going to see as certain people is trying to block you. You've got this intelligence. You're gaining people balance. So about the things that they're securing. So you're a master of your craft. You're speaking to be able to master how to secure your emotions, those thoughts, this family members, the friends, looking back to the ancestors be guiding you, protecting you, giving you that wisdom, that strength to go forward. That's when you're looking back, gaining higher clarity and wisdom, balancing the spiritual as well as the physical. You're looking at the mental as well as emotional, being creative, speaking, enabling people to have that inner standing and self-acceptance, to make that change. Take it all as it resonates. That's when you've got that higher clarity, higher awareness, inner standing, to be able to create, manifest. That's when you're seeking your knowledge, your intuitions. So now this divine feminine and masculine, I love their thinking. They can see they're achieving now. They can see how they love, how they're thinking, how you're achieving. They see how you're moving forward and the way how they feel now. They're getting this introspection as to where, to why, to what, to when. They may be wanting to be able to come and give you temperaments. They could have been seeing how a feminine energy was blocking you because they thought they was wise. They was doing spell work and continuously because they was in their ego to block you, to be able to hold and possess some material goods. This was about your relationship, Ace of Cups. That was, they didn't realize that you was that true ace. This masculine may be looking at you now and seeing how you're that Ace of Cups. They're getting that higher clarity, higher awareness. They can see that you're growing, they're optimistic. They can see you're in Jupiter. They could be in Jupiter now. That love out and the choices that they made, they're growing that love for you. Take it all as it resonates. You could be seeing somebody who was trying to be able to stop and block that love. Four of Swords cause you stress and conflict, so you wasn't able to be able to move forward. About that joy. This could be somebody across the world, cross-cultural. You could see certain things. Take it all as it resonates. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. Let's just see what's in this bag. Wants to come out. This is what we'll use. So I'll just grab one. It says, soon as the baby passed, Mum, Grandma got him called Justice. So soon as the baby passed, the mum, the grandma got them called Justice. So they could be gaining justice, that growth now, that baby's passed, that ending, they've had the growth now, that's that awakening. That's these family members and friends who thought it was wise. Empress, high energy, creativity. Take it all as it resonates when you're expanding groups. This could be thinking now, confusion, and they're being creative, skills. Have and to hold from this day forward. So they could be having an awakening now. They've got this high priestess. They use these skills. They're looking now. They could have been courageous and stubborn, persistent, aggressive. In this relationship, they was being wise, judgmental. They could have had inspiration, thought they was being practical. Take it all as it resonates. They could see that you're down to earth and they was competing against you. Go take for yourself a wife of prostitution. So they went and took themselves a wife of prostitution. That they was out there having those extra energies too, a high feminine energy. They was dependable, thought they was wise. For the land commits great acts of prostitution by not following the Most High. Hosea 1:2. So they could say they was in that low dense energy of one room without their foot bottom, direct, aggressive, naive, egotistical, stubborn, because that's about your stability. 1, 2, opening your legs, what you're going to do. And that's that call to examine the heart. That's feeling shame now, that heartbreak and shame you felt when they did that to you. And now they know about betrayal. So now they're knowing about betrayal. So they could have had heartache and pain. They could have been with a prostitute. They put themselves all around the globe. It was Tom, Dick and Harry. Now they're seeing alcohol. That's all nice. Me, I need next. One worked. They're looking at that descends of the church now. And that was always judging me. So they can say that higher clarity. People in that church they was around was always judging them. They sold their body. They sold their front. They didn't go to church. They didn't have that high awareness. They was detached, flighted from their emotions, or because of like their pride and I am, and got no self-respect for themselves, no dignity. I am a physical education teacher, love kids. So they can see that you're a physical education teacher, you love kids. They can see that you're creative, you speak, you're able to grow. You've got that understanding, you've got compassionate, you've got higher wisdom. You grow, make people and have that wisdom, like have clarity of mind to gain introspection. Look at good from bad. You see when certain people haven't got that light on to awaken that chakra, that clarity of mind, take it all as it resonates. Physical mind, look at the mental mind, the emotional, all the O's. Don't mean nothing. I loved you since high school. So they could say they don't mean nothing. They could have loved somebody since high school. This is a parent, a mother of the child. That's because of habits, what they had. And that was like security, masculine energy that was clinging on, holding on. This could have been a feminine holding on to that masculine, clinging on because they were selfish. They didn't use their skills in the creative ways, and it was for stability. Take this all as it resonates. That could be family in the roots, and that's that environment from early days. Take that all as it resonates. They was like emotional and like was in their heart, thought they had this compassion. Take this all as it resonates. This could be somebody that you've known for years, and they're looking back to you, gaining that higher clarity in regards towards you now. You can see that sudden change, thinking you're a part of their destiny, and they have to hold that from you from this day forward. They want to be able to tell you because they can see that Holy Grail. 21, 21. That world, that accomplishment, that cycle, they're having that high clarity, that high awakening now, that choices that they made. They can see you're a high priestess. Certain family members and friends was being wise, judgmental towards you. Take this all as it resonates, all because you was balanced and you was a high priestess. You use your intuitions, you move with love, and what you possess. You got that physical body. Certain people was using their physical body to possess certain things. Take it all as it resonates. They could be doing Tom, Dick and Harry. Larry, what looked like Sally, and Sally was Barry, but Barry was really Larry. Take it all as it resonates. You can see these things. They was running out those low dense energies for sensual energies, running through the foot bottom. So they could have been a prostitute. They could have picked up a slag bag. The divine masculine could have been one of them. As one come out, another one comes in, didn't have no stability. Because then they was drinking alcohol, that's when people was judging them. Because they weren't spiritually woke. So they weren't spiritually woke because they didn't have compassion. They lack caring, compassion, their well-being, their mindset. That was their self-esteem. That was love. That was them to have that inner peace. They wasn't able to trust and accept their gut feelings. That's because when people were speaking about them and the way how they learned, and that's what they thought, and because of their siblings didn't love them and show them that compassion and that love, and they was flighting, detached, came with aggression and things like that, you're going to gain this higher clarity. That's why they was detached from their emotions. 13, so they're having that death, that transformation, because they was being a fool. You could see that certain people was being wife, talking about you, the way how you creatively express yourself. They didn't realise the way how you was able to creatively express themselves. You had these hidden powers and you was a high priestess. They're gaining that higher clarity now because of Four of Swords. Don't mean nothing. I loved you since high school. So this is somebody who's loved you for a long time. 2, laws. Now they're connecting back. 2 and 6. There's this people who had a social awareness of you from when you did go to school, because that's like who you're serving. When people have got social awareness, doctors, that's like uniques, people who've got knowers on a personal level. They're looking back towards you now. They may see that you're caring, you're stable, you're nurturing, you're unable to be able to got them good qualities like a Queen of Cups who's providing, supporting your beauty, your serenity, you're down to earth, you're grounded. Virgo energy, Taurus, Cancer, you're able to use your intuitions and think about yourself as well as other people. You gain introspection, higher clarity. You see when you've had these building blocks and you've seen, right, let me keep on moving forward, have compassion for myself, gain that introspection. Yeah, I've had to put that block there. Yeah, I'm had to go around that other direction, gain that higher clarity. Certain things happen within time. Yeah, the spirits are going to tell you, keep rising up. What's in that air, what's in that sky? Because that's that temple of sacrifice. They were sacrificing you. They could have paid and spent spell work and done spell work on you. You could hear that they was giving people money and they thought they was having these, using these hidden skills to try and draw you in. Now they're looking 3 and 6. These family members and friends, they were spending money, being wise. Their mindset towards money and values or for assets. 10, they was thought they was going to gain that wheel of fortune. They was rebelling against you. Take this all as it resonates. They didn't have no discipline. And now they'd see that you was transforming. Now they maybe want to take action now because they can see they're in like gaining strength. They can see you've got that strength. You are that Ace of Cups. That 9, you're like that whole wisdom. They're gaining that wisdom because of that Holy Grail. The rest of the women raked in should throw parties with wealthy men. So they could have set up a business, sex shop, things in the unknown. You could be having a warning sign. Take this all as it resonates. 15, they was doing things, devil energies, addictions and restrictions, obsessions. Underworld 4, all for security, for money, stability. They could have had a sex shop in that house. They could have had a brothel. He said, wait till divine shows me who to marry. So they could have picked up a one who was OnlyFans chick, making grands. That's how they was living. That was their security. That's what they was serving. That was what they did as a service. They picked up a service girl, a backstreet girl, back at alley girl. Got something to tell you. I'm saving myself till marriage. Saving myself. So they thought that they was going to grow the stability for this property. So they could have been helping, signing, needing money, somebody to be able to help from one property. They thought that they was going to grow and have that stability, that foundations, have that firm home. They didn't have that complete trust. They thought they was being wise. Take it all as it resonates. And now they're looking because it was social ideas. Their social ideas. They didn't have that confidence. They thought they had confidence. I used to go church to marry too many fucking Christians who judge, not for the people. So now they're saying they're getting that higher clarity. They used to go church and this could be this masculine. They ended up detaching. It could be this feminine because they was manipulating, clinging, selfish. They didn't use their intuitions. Take it all as it resonates because they was trying to secure things. They was insecure. And it most probably brought out their insecurities because they didn't want to be creative and change, have that compassion. Take it all as it resonates. It says marriage 101. So now they could see that was marriage. They had these hidden powers because they thought there was a fool and they was in their ego. They was like direct, aggressive, taking control and just rushing to these new beginnings and these opportunities. They wasn't thinking because that was like what they possess and they did it impulsively. Open intervention. So they could see this open intervention now that's to be taking place. This could be this emperor because they're looking at that Holy Grail, that higher clarity connecting to their heart because they're in that hangman position in reverse. So they could put themselves, now they're looking at the actions that they took, getting that higher clarity. They're gaining introspection. They put themselves up now because when they're seeing now that what they were sacrificing. Take it all as it resonates because of the actions that they done, inspiration. Now they're saying, oh my gosh, why did I use that feeling? And I was running through those low energies because my ego being so courageous, or because I was impulsive because of the mindset towards one of their values. They're now seeing that adaptability now. They're connected to their heart. They didn't want to transform, all because of their habits. They was too busy, lost, driven through money, not looking at the physical, the spiritual. They didn't have that. They was confused. They didn't have that nurturing skills, and it was all for nurturing, and they was not monitoring nor honouring their self, oneself. Like they was too busy in that actual energies. Take it all as it resonates. They had the habits, and that was all because of their obsessions, because of their illusions. That's the truth. Now there's the truth. Things ain't going how things should. Because it's all on you. Now they're in their emotions because they can see it's all on you. You was that divine one. You was the one who was fluid. You was pouring out love and they received. They just wasted the love that you provided. They was giving it to Tom, Dick, Aris, Sally. And now they're looking at themselves because they're seeing those power plays. Moved back from New York. So that person there, that feminine energy, could have moved back from New York, travelled, feminine. Take it all as it resonates. Something is missing. Love. I don't know. I want more. Intimate, meaningful, everlasting. So they could be saying something's missing. Love. It's not meaningful. It's not everlasting. Because now I feel this is not everlasting. I feel that the way I was acting, I'm growing and I'm gaining seeing, consciously awoke now about the actions that I took. Man are intoxicated with your beauty. So they could be intoxicated, they're getting inspiration now, seeing your beauty, that clarity, that higher clarity. They was in their ego, they see it as a part of that life force. They was too stubborn before. Now you could be protecting yourself. Take it all as it resonates. Like, just like I am. So they see your beauty just like I am. So they was too vain. They was in their beauty. They was ego. Driven through ego. Now they're in like gaining higher wisdom. Went through life though I know what was best. So they went through life, they thought they knew what was best. They didn't have that higher clarity. Then now they're looking back towards you, connecting to the heart. They was not steadfast. Now they're getting organized. Can I walk you to your car? So they could have walked this feminine to the car for and tried to act like, oh yeah, clinging on. Thought they was being creative, protective. Thought they was protective. Can I walk you to that car? Why you ready? Why are you reading marriage books? So they could be reading marriage books now because that's that law of one. Stress in their mind, getting that high clarity. This masculine could be looking now, taking that leadership because that's the way how they feel. Because they're having this disruption within their mind. They're having this tower moment now because they're getting this higher clarity because they wasn't choosing wisely. Take it all as it resonates because that's missing something. And now I want more intimacy. They having patience because they're getting that higher awareness now. They're looking at their self, connecting this masculine, higher clarity. That's evolving because they was having stress. They're now in that hierophant. They could be taking that leadership skulls now and getting more spiritual wisdom, connecting to the divine. That's because the way how they was creating now, they can see the way how they was gambling and the choices that they was making. Take it all as it resonates. Now they can see you as a part of that destiny, that karmic cycle. They're having that higher awakening because they was rebelling. All because of the choices. They went through life thinking they knew what was best. Sleeping in sexual energies like I am, like they have that higher clarity because they thought it was material, all this that was best. Take it all as it resonates. They was blocking their self. This is this masculine. Or now they're looking back towards you and seeing your hidden skills. You got that masculine qualities. You're the life force. You had to protect yourself from them. And it was all because it was stubborn and vain. That's what that does to you. And that's when you're stuck in that low dense energy because of temptations and you're gaining this authority. So that's the truth. Things ain't going how things should because of the choices that they had. It ain't no good. It ain't no good. Now, because that's where Pentacles, why you're ready for marriage and reading marriage books because they're getting that emotional loss. Now they're getting higher clarity. They could be seeking higher wisdom now as to what philosophical knowledge about relationships. And when you're stopping, that's when you're growing because they're having conflict and they're connecting to their emotions. They're in that higher front, taking that leadership skills now, gaining introspection in regards to who you are when they didn't have respect and they didn't have that moral compass. Now they're gaining that higher clarity about loves and the seeds that you plant and which direction was the joyous. They maybe want to be able to come back towards you now because they're gaining higher clarity. That's that duality, that's that balance. They may be looking because they may be seeking truth and justice. Court proceedings, you're going to see things will be publishing out because I am and I'm securing, I'm seeking higher clarity to be able to create. Look, there was temptations. So someone was creating these temptations. Now they can see they're touching that key because they're getting that higher clarity now. Because that's touching that heart, that keys to that heart. So they're looking at their self, in hermit, gaining introspection, Virgo energy. Now they're critically thinking and they're analysing, critically thinking, analysing. When you were stuck, conflicted through thoughts, all because your ego and the habits. And now you're having to look for the instincts, connect to that feminine respiratory. That's when you have to go up. And you have to listen to your heart. That's a life force now. It's that purpose. It's forcing you to pick up that key for hope. So when you have that truth. So that's the truth. They're having that higher awakening now. They're connecting to that divine. People were trying to block you and stop you so you could distress. So you wasn't able to move forward. And that's the truth. Because they was blocking. Because there's secrets on the unknown about your partner. There's assets. There's inheritances. People dominating over you. Trying to be able to block you. Stop you. They didn't have the wisdom. They didn't have that higher clarity. They was throwing threats. What if I said I could give you all that? So now they're saying, what if I said I could give you all that? They want to be able to come and give you all that money, that material harvest, and the emotional loss what you had. I don't know. People still had complete trust in that. So they didn't know if people still had complete trust in those seeds that they planted. That's when you have to look at the structures, your foundation, the life force, that vitality, I am. When people was being brave and stubborn, treat complete trust in the divine. That's the things that you create. Take it all as it resonates. Your way out your league, but sweet. I bet fake spiritually woke too. So they could be saying your way out your league. I bet she's fake spiritually woke too. But you were spiritually woke, mentally woke, emotionally woke. Told you my life in last 4 hours might as well get married, divine feminine. So somebody, you could be meeting somebody coming in towards you, get that higher clarity. They may see you as that sun, tell you their whole life story in the last 4 hours that you were speaking to them. They're going to go either in depth and tell you all the different aspects as to why, the things that they was growing, that willpower. They're going to come with some passion. They can see your creative skills. They may drop their ego because they can see they're voracious. They may become voracious towards you. Who knew you would find me and activate me like this? Who knew you would find them and activate them like this, their heart chakra? Falling never felt so sweet. So falling never felt so sweet. They're feeling that towards you. They're connecting. It's stress, clarity, higher clarity of their mind now. Because who knew? Did you know she was a prostitute? So now they're saying, did you know she was a prostitute? Someone could have said, you was a prostitute. They could have said, oh my gosh, I'm having stress because that partner that they picked up, they're seeing, they was unbalanced. There was a prostitute doing things because of money. Take it all as it resonates, guys. Always leave the rest for the best. And they was threatening, doing gun plays, trying to take control over the masculine in that childlike spirit. Take it all as it resonates. That masculine could have been controlling that feminine energy to go out to earn that money. That's so they can possess, and I am, because I'm in my ego. They didn't know people still had complete trust in them, because they was a drama starter. 15, stress, conflict, stirring the pot, always in the middle of lovers and the chaos. They love chaos, they love stress, all because of those in their ego, loving to control people, foundation, stability. This is this masculine energy. Or because they didn't have compassion, they weren't using their intuition, not sentimental, not emotional, not connecting. They was a broke ass. This could have been a feminine too. They was always doing stuff for money, to be able to control money. Their mindset was like money and irritated because they didn't know she was a prostitute, always out partying. Shots every weekend, no time for that first party later. They can see that you're shining, they're getting that higher clarity. They was out on this addiction, karmic cycle. That's the truth. Everyone had a social awareness. You're going to see that people had a social awareness. They was doing certain things for obsessions, always part in this broke ass drama starting. This was with a feminine, masculine. They was in that childlike spirit. They didn't have dignity, self-respect. Now they're seeking that intuitions. You be seeking your intuitions because they were they was creating with and who they had kids with and trying to possess about a partner, relationship. Take it all as it resonates. They was gambling. The choices, that could have been a feminine energy, a mother figure. That could have been like somebody from your family creation. Take it all as it resonates. A mother, a daughter. Take that all as it resonates, guys. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. Because if you're stressing, you'll be stressing yourself. Because you need to put them ghosted thoughts and feelings to one side. Because people are starting dramas with you. So let's see what the tea is. What's the gossip about this drama started. Who's stirring the pot. Because they've stayed in the pot about these retirement goals. They thought they was like being creative and thinking that they was going to get that sunshine, that joy, and that long-term stability. And it was planning and relaxing, and this broke ass. They're getting this payback. They thought they was getting this payback. Consequences, returning karmic cycles, and what goes around comes right back around. They're settling now. They may have to go to court. This broke ass. They maybe have to get higher wisdom. They may have to pay something out. Because there was always partying, broken promises, heartbroken, disappointed, expected, failed commitments, lost trust, words. That's because when you're doing it for loss, they got friend zone. They could have friend zoned you. They can see you shining, and now they see the temptations that they was taking. They wasn't following that book, the spiritual book, that higher clarity, higher wisdom. retirement goals. Do you know you're out of your league? So they was thought they was going to gain these retirement goals. Do they know they was out of their league? You're quite the nosy one. So there was drama starter, quite the nosy one, out of their league, trying to block and stop. You should have thought about that when you made us get rid of our, get rid of our last. So they've gotten rid, they should have thought about it before they got rid of the last thing that they had. 9, wisdom, education, school, teacher, guru, that neighborhood, small town, everyone, your cause. So in that small town, everyone, your cousin, even they know him, small town. You want her back. Price tag is 30 grand. So they could say their broken promises with this person, this third party. They could see now they was out socially with others. People thought they was being wise. Now, because that's the choices, they could be speaking about certain people. Now they've got to pay back some money. 5, they're having stress because the money they need to pay for that partner. Remember they picked up a slag bag? Well, I knew what God divine doing. But don't be discouraged. It's an example of love. So that's an example of negative love. And that's when you have to go through those cycles and those emotions. And that's when you got to grow, have compassion for yourself, have to look back at the actions you took, because that's the creations and what you was creating. Because that's that, you're one nosy one. So you have nosy people at the side of you because of the self-doubt. They're holding certain people back. Visionary. And that's that great part, dreaming big. Map out your highest potential without limiting yourself, current circumstances. Pay back certain people who's having been you self-doubt, and you just moving with the flow. Those broken promises. Alignment. Allow life to unfold without forcing the outcomes. Follow the path for less resistance, because you got to look in that execution. So now they could be gaining this execution, shining, gaining wisdom. That's that truth, and it's light. It's triggering those darknesses. Either got friend zoned because of these temptations. They may see you as fulfillment of wishes. They didn't do stuff by the book, that's the truth, or because they was tempting because of sacrificing. They thought they was going towards that ace of cups, that money, that emotions. Now they're releasing because they need healing. Like the Bible, Adam and Eve, the very thing God forbid me to do, I did it, temptations. So they're saying the thing that God forbid them to do, temptations, commit adultery, sinning because of authority. I just want them to love me for me, not judge me or attack me. Sorry, not judge me or stigmatize me because of those expecting, and I'm experiencing my all. So they're experiencing all of those thoughts. Give her space, she will come around. So somebody could be saying, give her space, because you, their self-doubts was holding them back, and that's trusting that strength because it's payback. Did they tell you about the interview? So did they tell you about this interview, about the got to go court? Did they let you know about the property and certain things that was in the secret? And the people that they was associated with for justice, did they tell you about this interview? Someone could have a social awareness of you now and was driven through jealousy. Somebody could be idealistic and watching you take it all as it resonates. They could see that you're passionate and you're great in your working skills. They could be gaining higher wisdom in regards to who you are. They may be wanting to be able to give you this job because they can see you're amazing. You're awakening your progress towards freedom, positive changes, a sudden change. Take it all as it resonates. That could have been coming from a family, a friend, somebody that's close to you, that's ruling over you. You see those other people with money that may resonate, your partners. Take it all as it resonates. So they're going to ask you about this interview.